Hey Bears fans, today we are diving deep into everything going on with the Chicago Bears as the season keeps rolling. There's been a lot of chatter about trades, roster moves, and the team's overall strategy, especially on the defensive side, and we've got plenty to unpack. Let's start with the trade deadline. Many fans were hoping for some big moves, particularly with players like Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson. There was a lot of speculation about what could happen, and while a few names drew interest, the Bears were careful not to overpay. The balance between improving the roster and keeping assets for the future is a tricky one, and it seems the front office weighed their options carefully. Some wanted Jermaine Johnson, and while it was close, the Bears' offer reportedly didn't reach what the other team was asking. In situations like this, you can feel frustrated as a fan, but it's also important to remember that overpaying can backfire, especially on a team that is trying to build sustainable success. Even though we all love seeing our team make bold moves, sometimes discipline is the better play, and it looks like that was the approach here. Now, looking at free agency, there are still some interesting possibilities. One name catching attention is Asante Samuel Jr. He's been medically cleared, and there's potential for him to visit teams soon. If the Bears bring him in, a strong workout and good medical results could make him a valuable addition. He could compete for playing time with the current cornerbacks, adding depth, and possibly even an upgrade at outside corner. Situations like this highlight how the team has to weigh not only immediate needs, but also the potential long-term benefits of signing players who are ready to contribute. Depth is crucial, especially when injuries inevitably pile up over a long NFL season. Fans are eager for every move, and the Bears' handling of the edge and defensive back positions shows a careful, measured approach rather than rushing into deals that might not make sense. Speaking of depth, the edge position remains a talking point. Players like DeMarcus Walker are still available, and bringing in someone with experience could make a meaningful impact. Walker has versatility, able to line up inside or outside, which is valuable for defensive schemes. The Bears need guys who can step in and perform, and someone like Walker fits that profile. Alongside him, the team has Austin Booker, Montez Sweat, Daniel Hardy, and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka contributing to the pass rush. Each player has a role, and the balance between developing young talent and relying on veterans is a constant conversation. Fans are eager to see improvements in this area because the pass rush can define how a defense performs overall, and the Bears are no exception. It's clear that the front office is exploring options, whether through free agency or practice squad talent, while maintaining discipline on how much they're willing to invest in any single player. The ongoing discussion about kickers also shows how every roster decision has ripple effects. With Jake Moody available, the Bears have the option to adjust their kicking situation depending on performance and team needs. These choices reflect the kind of detailed roster management that goes on behind the scenes. For fans, it might seem like small moves, but every decision contributes to the bigger picture of a team's competitiveness. The Bears are navigating a mix of immediate needs and longer-term planning, all while facing the realities of injuries and player availability. It's a delicate balance, and the way they manage it can influence their playoff chances. Looking at the roster overall, there have been some bright spots in terms of player development. Offensive line improvements have been encouraging, with some younger players starting to turn corners and show potential. On the defensive line, the picture is more mixed, with some players still adjusting and others facing injuries or setbacks. Draft picks like Carlson Loveland are showing promise over time, and even late-round selections like Kyle Manungi might end up providing solid value. It's still early for many rookies, but there are glimpses of players who could become foundational pieces. At the same time, other picks haven't yet made an impact, reminding us that the draft is never a guarantee and development can take time. Evaluating the draft as a whole shows a blend of successes in areas where the team still needs depth or impact players. As the season progresses, the focus naturally shifts to upcoming games and divisional matchups. The Bears face important contests against teams like the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and Minnesota Vikings. Winning key games within the division can make or break playoff hopes, and right now, it's clear the Bears are still in the mix. Beating the Giants in the upcoming game would put them in a solid position, and every win counts as the team looks to gain momentum. Injuries continue to affect decisions, and players returning from absences, like Kyler Gordon, will open up new possibilities for lineup adjustments. The coaching staff has to juggle these returning players while balancing the development of current starters and keeping depth options ready. Free agency remains another area where the Bears could make moves to improve the roster. Whether it's adding depth at edge, exploring cornerback options like Samuel, or considering veterans who could fill immediate gaps, there are opportunities to tweak the roster and give the team a better chance to compete. Fans are right to ask questions about these decisions because each signing or lack thereof can significantly influence the team's performance in the second half of the season. The front office seems to be focusing on measured moves, avoiding overpaying for short-term fixes while still exploring opportunities to strengthen the squad. It's a strategy that balances patience with action, ensuring that any additions are thoughtful rather than reactive. The broader picture also includes looking ahead to next year's draft. Names like Ruben Bain, Arl Reese, and Kelrick Falk are already being discussed as potential edge rushers. The Bears are keeping an eye on talent pipelines, which is critical for sustained success. Draft planning, roster management, and free agency work together as a continuous cycle, with each decision influencing the next. Fans want immediate results, but the front office has to consider both the current season and the long-term health of the team. This balance between present and future is at the heart of every roster discussion, from evaluating individual players to planning draft strategies. As we continue following the Bears this season, there's a lot to watch. How defensive backs develop, how the pass rush shapes up, how injuries impact lineups, and how key matchups in the division unfold. The team's approach to trades, free agency, and internal competition highlights a thoughtful strategy rather than impulsive decisions. Bears fans are engaged, asking questions, and analyzing every move, which shows the passion and attention this team inspires. The narrative of the season is still unfolding, and every roster decision, game outcome, and player development story contributes to the bigger picture. The dynamic nature of football ensures that surprises are always possible. A player returning from injury could change the defensive alignment. A rookie could emerge as a playmaker, or a mid-season acquisition could provide a spark. For the Bears, this season is about maintaining competitiveness, navigating challenges, and staying in the playoff conversation. The team's discipline and roster management focus on depth and strategic approach to both immediate needs and long-term planning are critical as they continue pushing forward. Every move, every game, and every performance matters as the Bears aim to solidify their position in the division and make a push toward the postseason. As we look deeper into the Bears season, the focus naturally shifts to the impact of individual performances and how the coaching staff adjusts to maximize the talent on the roster. Injuries have played a significant role this year, affecting key positions on both sides of the ball. Players returning from injury, like Kyler Gordon, could change how the secondary is structured, giving the Bears more flexibility in coverage schemes. The balance between experience and youth is particularly interesting, as younger players like Nan Wright are given opportunities to step up, while veterans provide leadership and stability. These decisions can have a ripple effect on the team's overall performance, influencing everything from game planning to in-game adjustments. The coaching staff's ability to manage these dynamics will be critical in shaping the Bears' success in the coming weeks. Looking at the defensive front, depth continues to be a discussion point. Edge rushers are always in demand, and the Bears are exploring multiple options, including veterans who can contribute immediately. Players like DeMarcus Walker bring versatility, and adding someone like him could relieve pressure on younger edge defenders while increasing the team's pass rush potential. Meanwhile, rookies and practice squad players are being evaluated continuously, and opportunities to bring in free agents or make minor roster moves remain on the table. The front office's approach appears to be cautious but strategic, ensuring that any additions enhance the roster without compromising future assets. The balance between short-term gains and long-term planning is particularly delicate in the NFL, and the Bears are navigating that line carefully. On the offensive side, the line improvements have started to show results, giving the quarterback better protection and opening up opportunities in the running game. Development of young offensive linemen is an ongoing process, and while there are still areas to improve, the progress made so far provides a foundation for growth. The receiving core and skill positions are also being managed with an eye toward maximizing efficiency and impact, making sure that matchups are exploited and that the team can stay competitive against tough defensive units. Each game is an opportunity to evaluate how these pieces come together, and fans can see how individual performances feed into the bigger picture. The schedule ahead is another critical factor. Divisional matchups against the Lions, Packers, and Vikings will be pivotal in determining the Bears' playoff trajectory. Winning at home against rivals and competing on the road against strong opponents requires consistency, discipline, and focus. Every game has implications, not just for standings, but for player development and roster decisions. The coaching staff has to manage workloads, rotations, and injury recoveries, all while ensuring the team remains competitive. The complexity of managing an NFL season becomes apparent here, where every decision can influence both immediate results and long-term success. Fans are particularly attentive to decisions regarding free agency and roster adjustments. Signing players who can immediately contribute while preserving draft picks and salary cap space is an ongoing challenge. Names like Asante Samuel Jr. continue to generate interest, with his ability to compete at cornerback offering both depth and potential upgrades. The Bears are evaluating these opportunities carefully, weighing medical clearances, workouts, and positional fit. Depth in critical positions like defensive back and edge rusher is not just about immediate performance. It's about ensuring the team can handle injuries and maintain competitiveness throughout the season. Draft prospects are also part of the conversation, as the team looks to the future while navigating the present. Edge rushers like Ruben Bain, Arl Reese, and Kelrick Falk are generating buzz, and keeping tabs on talent pipelines allows the Bears to plan ahead for next season. Integrating these considerations with current roster needs demonstrates the complexity of team management, where draft strategy, free agency, and player development are all interconnected. Fans are aware of these layers, analyzing moves and debating potential additions, which reflects the intensity of following a team with playoff aspirations. Another area of interest is the special teams unit, particularly the kicking game. Decisions about kickers, whether to retain current options or give opportunities to younger players like Jake Moody, highlight the level of detail involved in team management. Each choice has consequences, from scoring potential to roster flexibility. The Bears must balance short-term performance with long-term planning, ensuring that every decision supports overall competitiveness. These seemingly small adjustments can have significant impacts on game outcomes, playoff positioning, and team morale. As the season progresses, the dynamic nature of football ensures that surprises are always possible. Rookies could emerge as key contributors, mid-season acquisitions could spark improvement, and players returning from injury might change the team's strategy. For the Bears, staying adaptable and making calculated decisions remains the guiding principle. Fans are invested, scrutinizing every move and evaluating how each roster adjustment impacts the team's trajectory. The interplay between coaching, player performance, and strategic roster management defines the season and sets the stage for the team's continued pursuit of success. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most shocking moves of the NFL offseason, the Chicago Bears have reportedly announced the departure of star wide receiver Luther Burton. The news, still swirling in whispers around league circles, has sent shockwaves through Bears Nation, leaving fans in disbelief and social media in frenzy. Burton, a dynamic force on the field, had been a central figure in the team's offensive strategy, and his exit marks an unexpected turning point for a franchise that has long relied on his explosive playmaking ability. Sources close to the team suggest that the decision came after intense internal discussions, with management weighing salary cap implications and long-term roster plans. Rumors hint at a possible trade scenario, though no concrete details have been confirmed. What is clear is that Burton's departure leaves a gaping hole in the Bears lineup. both in terms of performance and leadership. Teammates, reportedly blindsided by the announcement, are said to be rallying around one another as the organization navigates this sudden shakeup. The reaction from fans has been immediate and emotional. Social media platforms exploded with tributes, debates, and speculation about where the star receiver might land next. Some are already predicting a high-profile move to another contending team, while others question whether the Bears are making a strategic error by letting go of such a critical offensive weapon. Analysts are now re-evaluating Chicago's prospects for the upcoming season, with many suggesting that the team's offensive scheme will need a complete overhaul. Inside the locker room, whispers suggest that morale could be affected, but coaches are reportedly committed to rallying the squad around emerging talent. Meanwhile, NFL insiders are keeping a close eye on potential landing spots for Burton, hinting that multiple franchises are lining up to make a move. Whether this becomes a trade saga or a dramatic free agent signing, one thing is certain. Luther Burton's departure is the headline the league didn't see coming. As Bears fans process the news, one sentiment is nearly universal. This is the end of an era and the beginning of a new, unpredictable chapter for both player and team. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.